averages and range, grade DE at GCSE. Let's look at some data. Data consists of lots of values. It can be collected through a survey or what have you, lots of different ways of collecting the data. We'll look at ways of collecting data in another show. Now, there are two things we can talk about. We can talk about the average for the data, which is a single value describing it. If you go on to do A level, it's called a measure of central tendency. And there's also another thing we can talk about the data, about how spread out it is. It's called a measure of dispersion. We use the range as the first measure of dispersion we'll look at. Now, let's look at these averages. The first one, perhaps you're familiar with it, viewers, is the mode. The mode is the most common bit of data. And yet, one occurs more than any other bit of data. So could you write down the mode is 1? So that's one average. The next average is the median. Excuse me. To find the median, we have to put the data in order. So let's do that, guys. And the median is the middle one. So it's crossing out the smallest and the largest, smallest, largest, smallest, largest. The middle one is 4. But there's one other average that we need, or measure of central tendency we need to know how to be able to find. And that's the mean. And we find the mean by adding up all the data. So 6, 9, 13, 20, 21, 29, and dividing it by the number of bits of data. In this case, I had 7 bits of data. That's an improper fraction. 7 goes into 29 4 times, remainder 1. So that's 4 and 1/7. Now, just before we move on and look at range, this you'll find quite common at GCSE. The median and the mean are often, very close together. Okay, now we're going to find the range. To find the range, we subtract the smallest bit of data from the largest bit of data. In technical terms, we find the difference between the largest and the smallest, and it's 7. The largest is the last bit of data when we put them in order. The smallest is the first. Now, if you'd already worked those out whilst I explained it, then well done. Grab yourself a pen, give yourself a tick. Let's look at 2 more examples. Right. This set of data has only 5 pieces of data. Now, averages. The mode. 3 occurs more than 1, and so does 4. But 4 doesn't occur any more than 3 does, and vice versa. So, there is no bit of data that's head and shoulders on its own occurring more than any other. So the mode in this instance, where the 2 highest ones are, well done, young lady, no mode. The median. Put them in order. Show a bit better how we find it. Obviously, when there's a few, you can probably just quickly identify it. Smallest, largest, smallest, largest. There it is. The mode is 3. Now, let's see if the mean. I said the mean and the median should generally be roughly the same size. So we add them all up. 3, add 1 is 4, add 4, 8, 12, 15. It's divided by the number of bits of data. Are you writing this down, young man at the back? You're writing this down. Maths, as I've said on many of the shows, is a doing subject. You can't just watch this DVD, or this, not DVD, hopefully one day it will be available, but you can't just watch this video. Don't. Just 1 second, I've got some heckling from the audience. Right, and now we're going to find the measure of spread, the range. So could you write this down? Maths, as I said before, is a doing subject. I had to have a little brief interval when I put it on pause to explain to the audience how they can't learn unless they've got a pen and paper in front of them. So remember what we do. We take the smallest bit of data away from the largest bit of data, and the range is 4, take away 1, 3. Right, now, one more example where I'll go through it slowly, then I'll put a couple up there for you to try and work out the averages and the range. Right, could you write down the data? Write down the data. And let's have a look. We're going to find the 3 averages. Right, the mode.
What is he going to be on Watchdog? I'm not a crime program.
There is no mode.
Is it?
Right, now, the median. Why was there no mode? Because no bit of data appeared more than any other. 4 appeared more than any other bit of data. 4 occurred twice, but so did 7. Now, the median. We put them in order. 2 is the smallest. Then we had 2 4s, 2 7s, and an 11. Now we cross off the smallest and the largest. Smallest, largest, smallest, largest. Now, what do we do when we cross them both out?
Middle number.
Yeah, how do we find out what's it halfway in between 4 and 7? Can anybody guess? Yeah. Well done. We add them together. 4 add 7 is 11, and halve it. So it's 11 over 2, or 5.5. Right, now the mean. Add them all together. 11, 15, 22, 24. Now come in. 24. Come in. 24. Add 11. 35. 35 divided by 6, or 5 and 5/6. And finally, the range. The range is the largest, take away the smallest. 11, take away 2, equal to 9. Okay. Thank you for listening. Sorry about the interruptions, guys. Look forward to speaking to you and discussing and trying to teach another mathematical concept next show.